Hello future people, Jason the Bruise here with Getting Tabled, and today we're unboxing some more Bushido. So here we are with the arrival of some more Bushido models. Ironically, this is the first of the two orders that I'd made that I'd talked about previously. The Savage Wave unboxing that you've already seen was something that was ordered locally, whereas this stuff that I'm looking at now I actually ordered from GCT directly. The reason that I ordered it from them directly and didn't support Australian business has nothing to do with that. It's just simply because there was a couple of these models that were out of stock at the time, and I grew impatient. So, here we are. We've got 3 miniatures, and we also have the special card pack for the Ito clan. Now, those of you that know the game well and have been following along will know something very odd here. I don't play with this faction. I've never mentioned that I'm getting into this faction. I specifically play Ito clan, which is these snake guys. This I've purchased as a painting project, so for now I'm going to set that aside and we'll talk about that one at the end. Shall we start with the card pack? Alright, now, nice simple box. So this is kind of, I'm going to call it an expansion. There's one of these available for every warband in the game. These are not necessary to play, they're just like extra stuff that you can get for your faction. So, Murasama's Blade, so we've got some equipment here. It's +1, Pierce, Sharp, Poison. You're going to notice a lot of poison in this faction. Sidestep, Defense, and Combo Attack, so it's an upgrade on the weapon. There's no specific requirements for that. Orochi's Gaze, this is an event. Play this card in the starting phase, add X +2 Blood of Orochi tokens to the pool. So X must be at least 1, so the rice that you pay for this will determine what that figure is. Orochi's Gift, when an enemy model is killed due to poison in the end phase, you may add 3 additional Blood of Orochi tokens to the pool in the next starting phase. That could potentially be quite nice. Orochi's Shadow. Play before the tactical test to choose X enemy models to gain willpower -1 and lose tactician until the end of the phase. That could, if it's used right, that could be very good. Poison Blade, fairly obvious. Serpent's Blood. Whenever this model takes damage in a melee exchange, all models base to base with this model gain a Poison 1 marker. But the requirement is they must have Blood of Orochi or be a Heavyman. By the way, if I'm saying Heavyman wrong, somebody correct me. Thank you. Serpentine Armor. So this is an upgrade for armor. Gives you armor 2 and makes you light-footed, but you must be a samurai with armor. Teachings of Yashushi. You get Tactician +1. The Blessed, so this is one of the themes available. Friendly Shisai gain double key tokens on the key generation step for the first turn. That's potentially powerful. Each turn, choose 1 friendly Heberman model. That model may be given up to 3 Blood of Orochi tokens in the starting phase instead of 2. Oh, that's nice. During deployment, you may assign a Virtue token to up to 2 friendly faction models. In order to use this, everybody in your faction must be either an Acolyte, a Jade Mamba, or be models with the Blood of Orochi or Snake. The Snake Head Standard. So it's a standard. While this model is within 6 of an enemy model, any friendly Ashiguru or Samurai models within line of sight of this model gain Agile and Evasive. That's quite nice. Needs to be a Jiru model though. Vial of Venom, fairly straightforward. Beneath the Skin, so this is another enhancement. Orochi's Visage. This model gains Fear 6 and Terror until the end of its current activation. Requirement must be a Heavyman or Blood of Orochi. Charm Medallion. You may force any damage roll against the model to be re-rolled. Dark Secrets. During the starting phase, choose an enemy model within 3 inches of any friendly model. That model makes a key challenge test 6. If it fails, it gains 1 control marker. Forked Tongue. Gains 6 cents. Hemotoxic Oil. Let me guess, it's got something to do with poison. When a friendly model causes damage in a melee exchange, until the end phase, the damaged enemy model gains bleed. Oh, I was wrong. It gains a bleed 1 marker whenever it takes further damage. This effect ends if poison markers are all removed. Ito Armor. So this is more armor upgrades. So the enemy damage rolls are ignored if individual dice values of the damage rolls are the same number. Attack model gains move key boost 2. Needs to be a samurai with armor. Itsunabe's Gambit. If attached model places all melee dice into attack, it gains brutal +1 until the end of the melee phase. Needs to be a samurai, but it's not allowed to be Itsunagi. I find this confusing, because why is it Itsunabe's Gambit if he's not allowed to use it? I'm guessing there's a reason. I don't know, it just seems odd. Lords of Izu, so this is another, or Izu, this is another theme. In the end phase, poison damage ignores the tough trait. That could be nice. During deployment, 1 Ito Samurai gains leadership. Friendly, +1 of 6 inches until the end of the game. In the starting phase, add 2 Blood of Orochi tokens, so you get a bit of a thing there. So in this one, it must be Ashigiru, Ronin, Kami, Samurai, or Snake. You're not allowed to have any Heavymen. Murasama's Edge. So it's another +1 weapon. You get Pierce, Sharp, Bleed, Sidestep, and Combo Attack. So the first model here I have is Taisei. This guy has a really nice close combat. So he's got a total of 5 dice there. Plus he's got force back, attack, and sidestep defense. You can move up to 5. He does have a long range ability, so he's got 2 dice on long range. Blood of Orochi, jump up, and light-footed. Couple of abilities down the bottom there. So, just quickly looking at these abilities. Dakote, this model gains Feint 1 until the current activation is resolved. Grapple gives you grapple. Hack, this model's melee weapon gains powerful attack until the until the current activation is resolved. These models are really nice. This one's detail is subtle, but I do like it. Now, in my last video, I mentioned how the models are built in a very specific way, and you get a very good example of that here. This nub can only go in that way, and it means that it's not going to move around too much when you're trying to build it. So, it ends up looking quite nice. So, in theory, this should be going like that, because his tail curves behind him. Now if you look, you can see where the lines all end up. This is not a mold line, it is actually part of the detail. Just trying to separate the different parts of the snake skin. There is a bit of a mold line on the back here that you'll want to deal with. Don't really see an obvious one there. And the last bit of the tail, just looking at the detail, is actually slightly sharper than the other one. This is the gentleman's weapon. It's come out a little bit bent. That's okay, it's easy to fix. For those that get wary of metal models, that is the benefit of them, is that you can straighten these pieces out. It has come out very, very bent though. And some people may be thinking that that is flashing, but it's not. somewhere on this body there is going to be a bit where where it sits. It's going to be that little gap in there. That's in theory where his sword is supposed to go. That, however, I'm not sure on that one. It looks like it's a piece. It's really tiny though. Looking at the picture, I don't see any small sharp objects. It's possible that that's just... I might be just mistaking that for a piece, but I'm going to keep it just in case. Akane. So this is the most recent model for the faction. So she's also got a decent-ish weapon. It's not quite as many... It's not quite as powerful as the previous one. Same movement. You're going to find that with most of the Ito clan. That's all fairly standard. Her weapon gives her bleed, reach, push attack, and side defense. There's no actual additional dice from it though. She does have armor. She does have Blood of Orochi. She's got jump up, and she's got an ability called Skewer. Now, I have actually looked at this person's rules before. Skewer is the reason why this person does not have huge amounts of dice. When an enemy model suffers a wound in melee exchange with this model, it may not move except to change facing until the end of phase. Because they've been skewered, quite literally. This one's details are nice and sharp. This is one of the most recent models. I mentioned in my Savage Wave build about how the new models do look a little better than the old ones. This again appears to have a very specific way of going together, which is nice. And I think I can see how it goes in, because that's a very sharp line there. So clearly it's like that. And I love the fact that the back of that, because when you do that, you can't even really tell. I mean, if you know how models are sculpted, you'll know. But it almost looks like one piece now. By the time you paint it up, it'll look even more like one piece, I suspect. Interesting that her sword is connected and not separate. Her weapon is held that way. Actually got a trident, so this is where they're skewered and held in place. I like the fact that they've designed the weapon to make sense with the rule. Like, you can actually see how this works, as opposed to it's just a sword or it's just a spear. I mean, you can see how this is supposed to be holding on to things. You're going to kill yourself trying to pull yourself out of it. I like that. It works very well narratively, which I assume is deliberate. I haven't spoken to the creators. If you want to paint up some ninjas, this is the faction to get. From what I understand, they're a little bit more complicated to use, though. Axiom, again, this is one of the more recent releases. This is one of the ones that we actually showed off during a news segment a little while ago. So he's got 4 dice, but that's a -1. So you end up with 3 dice. You get throw, attack, and side defense. Sidestep defense. 3 for his long range as well. He's got assassin, bravery, camouflage 2+, dodge 1, indomitable 1, light-footed, and tactician 1. And prediction. This model's controller's opponent must declare which model they will choose as their next activating model. If the model becomes ineligible before it's chosen as the activating model, then another model can be selected without restriction. So you have to tell me which model that you're using next. And I'm guessing I would be killing or knocking out your opponent, and then you could use something else. It means that I get to know what you're doing next. I'm not 100% sure how lethal that would be. It would depend on whether you get the information you want, I suppose. His unique effects. Senpai, please notice me. This model may use key feats of any friendly North Star Ninja model currently on the battlefield. It's assumed that the key feat is written on this model's card. At the start of the model's activation, choose one of the following. Deploy a 50mm base on the table in base to base with this model. Until the end of the phase, the area of the base is normal, blocking large terrain. So it's a smoke bomb, I assume. Ninja Vanish. Choose a special attack or defense on any North Star. Oh, so that's the thing we were just reading. But it does cost you 1 extra. This model gains Feint until the end of the activation. Once per game in the starting phase, you may add a permitted faction enhance equipment card that was not recruited into the war band into this Oh! You get free stuff! Oh, that's nice. So this guy has some Green Arrow vibes to him. Unpainted. Like, you can see Arrow in this. Got his sword there. It's come out quite straight, which is good. He's got another weapon there. Hidden underneath. It's like that-ish. I'm going to show you guys what I plan to do with this. Okay, so The Ninja is a game that we had for the Sega Master System when it was first released. This is its Japanese. That there is its Japanese version, which I think was Ninja Princess or Sega Ninja Princess or something. I'm not 100% sure on that. I know the name was slightly different though. This is how he looked in game. So this is kind of, it's not exactly the same as the model that I've got, but this is kind of what I'm going to use as inspiration. I'm probably going to try and replicate this to some extent. And obviously he's going to be a slightly older version of this gentleman. But that's my loose version of what I intend to do with it. So there you go. Another unboxing for Bushido. Just in case it's not insanely obvious already, this is a game that I've really fallen in love with. I have actually gotten a couple of games in. Hopefully I'll be able to get some more soon. Fingers crossed, hopefully I'll be able to get some on Friday. Thank you very much for checking out this video. If you're enjoying the content of this channel, please like and subscribe. If you're in a position to do so, please check out patreon.com/gettingtabled. You receive early access to at least 80% of all videos that we put out, and you get access to the video edition of all of our podcasts the day that they're uploaded. If you'd like to check us out on social media, facebook.com/gettingtabled is the most active. We also have a Discord server. You can email our team at gettingtabled@gmail.com. If you're on either Twitter or Instagram, you can find us at gettingtabled. And until next time, play more games.